Alrighty, YouTube, it's your boy Zxous, and finally, after 3 hours of nothing but confusion, a supporter named Ken came through and explained it perfectly. Right, over time, when it came to Red Hood, you know, I was like, this is not adding up, this doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense. But a supporter named Ken, right, W Ken in the comments of this video. If you're watching this video, spam W Ken in the chat and in the comments of this video. W Ken for real, right? But Ken came through and explained how this works, right? So Red Hood is, a lot of people are saying in my chat that a lot of other content creators are like struggling, right? And I know it's gonna sound crazy, and you can bash me because I was saying she was gonna be best character in the game. A lot of other people were saying it as well. You can bash me in the comments, it's fine. But chat, unfortunately, when it comes to her burst 3, it's a Summer Neon 2.0. Summer Neon 2.0. And it's not that she's a bad character, because when you use her, she's actually you're gonna see like she's useful. But the problem is her burst skill is too low. It's 26% of final attack damage, right? And because the damage percentage is too low, even with all the attack buffs being included, it's still going to equal up to nothing because it's 26%. At level 10, it's 27%. But it's 27% of final attack damage. Now, the character, if you ask me, is she good or bad? I'd say she's good. She's not best character in the game. God, no. Unfortunately, the anniversary character is not best in the game, which sucks. I wouldn't even say she's top 5. Maybe overall. Maybe overall I would. I still need to do testing, especially with the burst 2. But, when using her, I know everybody was saying to use her mainly as a burst 3. No, you actually want to use her as a burst 1, right? When you use her burst 3, you get less damage. So if you are going to use her, I guess consider her more of a burst 1 40-second cooldown character with the option of a burst 2 and a burst 3. Right, that's the biggest problem with this character. Right now, when we were looking at this kit, it seemed like the whole gimmick was, even though the the damage percent was low, the speed and stuff was supposed to, you know, like fix it all up, but it's not enough. It's really not enough. It's really not enough. So I'm gonna show you guys the gear and stuff like that. This is my overload gear: charge damage, charge speed, crit rate, elemental damage, charge speed, elemental damage, and then charge speed and crit damage. So we have a lot of charge speed. But again, I'm going to show you guys what she looks like as only a burst 1 unit, and then as a burst 3 unit alone, and then if I was to use her burst 1 and 3, and then if I was to use another supporter with her burst 3, so you guys can get like an understanding of what she does. So unfortunately in the summons, I did not get Scarlet, and I'm not gonna summon no more. If I am going for max limit broken, I will get that because I have enough golden tickets for that, but we'll give a couple days to figure that out. Core 7's gone out the window. So that's another year without Scarlet as of right now, unfortunately. But I'm gonna show you guys. So we're gonna go into the let me put it here. We're gonna go into alrighty, YouTube. So this is the team we have here, right? So with this team, I'm gonna leave it all on auto so you guys can get like an actual understanding of like accurate number. Basically, if I control it myself, it's not going to be as accurate. If I use it on auto, it's going to be accurate, right? But we're going to use her as a burst 1, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like as her as a burst 1, and then Chad will remind me, but I said something else, like I forgot what it was. Chad, what was it? Alrighty, so we're back here. Let's see, right? So we're going to go to Modernia here, because she's going to be our main damage dealer, like Kester, right? So we used Red Hood's burst 1, and remember the burst 1 gives all allies the 74 attack percent of her attack, and then we're going to use Bunny Girls and then Modernia. Well, we don't want to use Modernia's burst skill, but it's fine. We're just getting numbers. It doesn't really matter. But this is what it looks like if we were to use only a Red Hood as a support. So 31 million, right? That's what it looks like, right? Then we're going to use I guess the same thing, but litter. Like litter as the character. So no more Red Hood. We're gonna use litter now as the burst 1. That's what I said I was gonna do. Right? Like this. Right? And then I'm gonna show you guys the damage as well. Right? So yeah, that's literally it, right? So 31 million, chat, put that in. I mean, I remember 31 million, but you can put it in the chat still, right? So now this rotation, we're going to use Litter's burst skill, then Blanc's, then Modernia's, and after we're gonna see. Remember, Litter gives an attack buff for only 5 seconds. So just keep that all in mind. Literally, keep that all in mind. So the thing is, what's her name? Red Hood gives it the like 10 seconds, Litter gives it 5 seconds. And then boom, you can see 27 million. So when we use Red Hood's burst 1, her support, it's giving us more of an attack buff because it lasts longer, 1, and it is of her attack. So dupes will help you out. The more dupes you have in her, the better the attack buff essentially. But you can see as a support with the attack buffs, Red Hood's is better than Litter's because 1, the percentage is higher, and 2, it's longer, right? Chat W. Right? That's how that works, right? As if we were to only use her as a burst 1 supporter. Now we're going to use her as a burst 3 DPS. Alrighty, so now we're going to be using Red Hood's burst 1 and 3. So the rotation is going to be Red Hood's burst 1, Blanc's burst 2, then Red Hood's burst 3, and then we're going to go in there again, but use Litter's burst 1, Blanc's burst 2, and then Red Hood's burst 3. And you guys are going to see, right? The biggest problem is the damage percentage on the burst skill, right? And that's where really you're gonna see the damage, right? So you can go in here, all right, all on auto. I'm gonna leave it all on auto. So boom, we use her burst skill, then oh no, I guess okay, we're going in there again because I forgot Blanc has to be in front of Red Hood if we're gonna do it in auto. When it comes to Red Hood, it's a bit wonky in terms of the exact rotation you want on auto, but yeah, now it's going to use her burst skill, her burst 1, since she's the first burst 1, then Blanc's burst 2, since Blanc is the first burst 2, and then Red Hood's burst 3. So yeah, that's perfect. You guys are gonna see the numbers look great, right? 7 million. By the time we end it off, it's going to be, let me see. The numbers look great. They look fantastic, right? Only 25 million, right? Modernia damn near got the same thing, right? Remember, we did use Red Hood's burst 1, so Modernia was getting that as well. But you can see even Modernia without her burst skill, with just the attack buff from Red Hood and the damage taken buff from Blanc, is averaging the same thing as Red Hood with her burst skill, essentially, right? So the biggest problem is the percentage. We're going to do the same thing again, but with Litter's burst skill now. Alrighty, so now we're going to use Litter's burst skill, her burst 1, then Blanc, and then Red Hood's burst 3, right? So the number was 25 to 23 million with Red Hood, Blanc, Red Hood. Now let's see what the number is with Litter, you know, obviously Blanc, and then Red Hood, right? This time around, Modernia won't be actually getting the buff the whole time from Red Hood. She'll be getting it from like the same thing basically. It's just gonna be weaker, right? So, I mean, it should be weaker, right? Let's take a look, because it's only a 5-second buff from Litter. So then, boom. Right, it's massively weaker. So from those 2 segments, right, from us using only Red Hood and only Litter as the burst 1, and then using Litter and then Red Hood as the burst 3, Litter as the burst 1, and then Red Hood as the burst 1 and burst 3, you can see anytime you use Red Hood's burst 1, the numbers are always much higher, right, chat? Anytime you use Red Hood's burst 1, if you're comparing it to Litter's burst 1, who gives a massive attack buff, it's always higher. Always going to be higher with Red Hood, right? But now we're going to do it if we weren't to have if we were not to have like all that stuff. Alrighty, so I guess technically what I wanted to show, I already showcased it essentially. But yeah, moral of the story is, as of right now, you want to only use her, and not only, but you mainly want to use her as a burst 1 supporter, right? Because her support is really, really good, but the problem with her is her burst 3 damage. So her support for the team is really good. But her damage for the team is really low. And even her own support can't help that. Right? So, unfortunately, she's not gonna, like... Chat, when I say she's mid, I don't know if I'd say she's mid, but, like, I think when ranking her, like, she would range from, like, 10 to 6. I don't even think she's top 5, to be honest. I think she's definitely top 10, but I think it would range from 10 to 6, to be honest. I don't think it would range from top 5 to up after that. Like, unfortunately, right, I do want to apologize. I technically, chat, unless they like fix her, this is my first L. This is the first time I said character was like crazy. I mean, we all thought she was gonna be crazy, but first L, bro. I ain't gonna lie. She's not mid. She's definitely not bad. Y'all are dragging it. Chat, for the people watching this video, people think that she's like, because she's not better than Scarlet, she's mid. No, she's not a bad character. Still summon for her. Get your 1 copy. So that's honestly all you need. 1 copy. That's it. Core 7 is not happening. Thank you, though, Red Hood, for the golden tickets because you set me. Hey, I can be cheap. We're going to get the Dorothy Battle Pass skin, though. Not today, though. On Friday. Because I want to get Uber Eats. But thank you, guys. Make sure you guys watch. Subscribe if you like the video. We're trying to get 9K by the end of the month. We are 400 subscribers away. Like less than 400. So yeah, your boys Zxous. Tomorrow we'll be live again with the Snow White testing and all that stuff. But yeah, for now I would say she's like average. Honestly, she's not that crazy in my. I mean, she's pretty good. She's still pretty good. Her like, I guess, even though this is the problem though, chat. Like, okay, no, it's over. Thank you.